When Lynda meets Louis, sparks fly.
Louis was a little bit animalistic.
But their love is doomed from the start.
They're like Romeo and Juliet.
I see that big cross on his neck.
When his best friend sucks him deeper into mob life.
When you ask a favor, you owe a favor.
She pushes him to choose, me or the mobster.
Treachery is the name of the game.
Get out before it gets worse.
When you're married to the mob, you don't ask, and you don't tell. Until now. Family. It can bring out the best and the worst in all of us. And when you have two families competing for loyalty, it's life and death.
What'd you do to my boy?
Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, in the 50s. A mix of Jewish and Italian families. At the time, there's a flood of Italians from Sicily pushing the Jewish families out. But not Lynda Milito's. Her family's matriarch refuses to budge.
My mother was a very selfish woman. She was a cross between Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. She really didn't want us.
The day she leaves the house can't come soon enough.
I had nowhere to turn until I met my knight in shining armor, and that was Louis.
Lynda's knight comes wearing dancing shoes just after her 16th birthday.
I was in the club, and Louis went like this to me. So I got up and I said, "Did you want me?" And he says to me, "Yeah, come on, let's dance." It just was love at first sight. He had such charisma about him. Men loved him, women loved him. There was just nothing bad about him.
What does faze her? He's not Jewish.
He drove me home. He says to me, "You want me to take you to the door?" I go, "Oh, no, oh, no, no."
They're like Romeo and Juliet. It's like star-crossed lovers.
Back then, it was very full of discrimination. I mean, if you were Jewish and he was Italian, that was like a tremendous no-no.
So Lynda hatches a little white lie.
How about you let me come upstairs?
All right, but listen.
His friends called him Louis, but his parents called him Bernie. So I says, "You're gonna be called Bernie in my house, too."
Bernie.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'm Bernie.
So sure enough,
Bernie. And what synagogue do you go to?
Not the one you go to. I go to the other ones.
The ruse works for a while, but Bernie slips up during a family retreat in the Catskills.
You know, I'm not sure about Bernie.
Mom, stop it.
I just don't have a good feeling. Lynda, what the hell is that?
I see that big cross on his neck. So I took a double take. And I didn't know what to say.
The fact that her mother says nothing speaks volumes.
My mother wanted me out of the house. Louis was the best deal in town at that point.
Seems like as good a time as any for these star-crossed lovers to quietly elope. On November 23rd, 1966, they tie the knot in a civil ceremony.
That moment was the happiest day of my life.
The couple is ecstatic.
Hello?
Their respective families, not so much.
When Louis called the mother, says, "Ma, Lynda and I got married." "That's nice. I see you took your guns."
Now the two of you can blow your heads off.
Well, you don't want to know what she said.
Attempting to get back in his family's good graces, Louis goes to bat for his younger brother when his draft card comes in the mail.
What my husband did to save his brother was make a deal.
We'll get him out of this.
The deal was with these two mobsters,
I got a problem.
All right, take a seat.
and they turned around and got a doctor.
He got drafted. There's no way he's going to Vietnam. Anything you can do?
We should be able to help this kid.
And the doctor gave him a 4F classification, and from then on, Anthony was free. But when you ask a favor, you owe a favor.
Then for the rest of your life, you're expected to keep paying that favor back. And no matter what you do, it's never paid off. They're still gonna come to you and say, "You know what, you still owe us, you gotta do something for us."
And I guess that was the start. But I didn't know it.
Louis begins working for the notorious Gambino crime family.
Louis' captain was a jeweler,
How is that?
Go back to bed.
and he had to perform
Don't worry about nothing.
certain thieveries for him. We went over there very often, and his wife pulled me on the side and said to me, Lynda, don't let Louis do this. Get out. Get out before it gets worse. And I looked at her.
I'm giving you good advice. You
I really didn't even know what she was talking about.
Louis is becoming a master thief and a good earner for the Gambinos.
His mother was his favorite taker.
Oh my God, this is beautiful.
A little bit like The Sopranos.
Life for him and Lynda has become much more comfortable.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Louis was extremely well-liked. He was active, he was aggressive, he was a Sicilian, which automatically gives him big credibility in that world.
Until one day when Louis brings home a fellow mobster who would later go down in mob annals as the Prince of Darkness.
My pal Sammy Gravano.
Sammy Gravano will probably go down as one of the most treacherous human beings to walk the face of the earth.
He looked at me and I looked at him and I knew right away, no way.
Lynda Milito is happily married and finally away from her abusive mother.
I was just so happy to get out of my house, and I found the love of my life. If he told me to jump off the Empire State Building, I probably would have. I was that much in love with him, and he was that much in love with me.
But she begins to realize that this love comes at a price.
Louis moved up in the Gambino ranks quickly. He was a big earner and a favorite of mob boss Paul Castellano, so they gave him a lot of responsibility.
But Louis' star really starts to shine when he brings a new soldier into the Gambino family, his old sidekick, Sammy Gravano.
Louis and Sammy had this childhood together. They were very close from an early age, and Louis was influential in moving Sammy away from the Colombos more towards the Gambino crime family.
First time I met Sammy, he looked at me and I looked at him and I knew right away, no way.
She and Sammy Gravano had a tremendous friction right from the beginning because she wouldn't knuckle under and become just another one of these Italian women who shut up and did exactly what their men told them to do.
Day after day, he used to come to the house and I didn't want to answer the door. I just knew he was just no good.
Hey, Sammy, you ready to go?
While Louis shepherds Gravano through Gambino life, Lynda focuses on her new family. She's pregnant with their first child.
When I got pregnant, Louis was so proud. He was just so proud.
On April 10th, 1968, Lynda and Louis welcomed their baby girl, Dina. The couple is over the moon.
He used to call her Dee Dee Weedy. He would come in my daughter's room with a brush and sing anything about Elvis.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
And then he would say to me, if I sing like Elvis, would you love me more?
But family loyalty can be fickle, especially when one of those families is the mob. Lynda sees another side to Louis when she discovers he's hiding money from her.
I had a 3-month-old baby, and I told him, I think we got a problem. I said, you have no right to invest in the stock market when I'm looking to buy a house for the kid.
It's none of your business.
Louis goes Gambino on her.
And he grabbed my neck and pushed it against the wall.
I could crack your neck in a second.
That was his favorite line.
Desperate, Lynda runs to her mother for help.
Hello? Yes?
Listen, I think I need to get out of here.
So she says to me, you're not coming home. I don't want no baby here. You made your bed, you lay in it.
Mom.
Lynda sits down again with Louis and makes a serious mistake. She uses the D word.
I want a divorce.
A divorce?
The only divorce you're gonna get is in a box.
Understand?
Then I'm gonna call your father and tell him you left with another man. Do you think I wouldn't believe him? So I was stuck. Where do I go? Back then, I was afraid of Louis, and I also knew how much he loved me. Sometimes you could love somebody just too much. And Louis loved me too much.
And in 1973, she expresses her love by giving him a son and a namesake, Louis Jr. Louis has never been happier or more powerful. To Lynda's dismay, Sammy and Louie go into business together and open up a club called Plaza Suite.
The club was extremely successful, and it was known to be kind of a mob joint, but it was like a Brooklyn sort of Studio 54.
You had to know somebody to get into the Plaza Suite. Louie was always the PR guy. Sammy was the guy in the office, because really nobody liked Sammy. Get him out of here. But Louie was the guy that would walk around, shake hands, you know, nicey-nicey.
Louie is making real money. Then he and Sammy get an offer they can't refuse.
A guy walks into the place.
A guy named Fiella, who was a drug dealer, and he also had a hand in pornography and a bunch of other businesses.
So what can I do for you?
Takes a knife. I want this place.
Name your price.
So Sammy kidding around.
$1 million cash.
Make the arrangements with your lawyers. I'll be back.
Sammy was looking to make a lot of money on this deal, as was Louie.
$500,000 is delivered up front, with another $500,000 in 2 weeks. But Fiella is already acting like he owns the place. When he starts remodeling Sammy's office, things get ugly.
One night he was in Sammy's office. He took a Uzi out of a desk drawer and pointed it at Sammy and threatened Sammy. It was the stupidest thing anybody could have done.
Sammy and Louie discussed it before that Louie was going to kill the guy.
When Fiella leaves the club that night, Louie shoots him.
After he shot him, he put 2 ice picks in his eyes.
Done right in front of like 20 people in Brooklyn, in front of the club. They killed this guy.
Louie was a hunter. Louie used to skin animals. So Louie was a little bit animalistic.
None of the witnesses step forward.
It's done.
The corpse with the ice picks is put on ice.
But nobody was ever charged. And they say the reason was that Sammy Gravano actually paid to kill the investigation on that.
The murder charges disappear, but the $500,000 in cash does not. And as the song goes, more money, more problems.
In typical Sammy Gravano fashion, Sammy decided to keep all the money for himself.
Sammy said to Louie, "Guess what? I just bought a horse farm."
Lynda and her husband Louie are moving up in the mob world. But when Louie becomes partners in a nightclub with Sammy Gravano, Lynda's worst fears come true.
I saw Louie less and less and less, okay? I saw him at night. And then at night already, I was too tired running around with the 2 kids. I was too tired to worry about what he was doing.
She reads about the Fiella murder in the paper.
Did you do this?
Jesus, what do you know? You're Jewish.
That was his phrase that he used quite often. So that really shut me up.
But she doesn't shut up when she finds out where the Plaza Suite money went.
In typical Sammy Gravano fashion, Louie was supposed to get a nice chunk of change as a result of this deal. But Sammy decided to keep all the money for himself.
Sammy said to Louie, "I'm gonna give you 20% of the horse farm."
Horse farm. That's right.
For what you did at Plaza Suite. Who needs a horse farm? What am I gonna do with a horse farm?
Louie insists they drive up to see the farm. When they do, Lynda has only one thought.
What the F is he doing?
Coming out?
The farm is in shambles, and the horses, well, they aren't exactly thoroughbreds.
Sammy goes to me, "What do you think, Lynn? We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that." I knew that Louie was getting duped for the money, okay? And I knew that I don't want this. Who got that $500,000?
You have got to be kidding me.
She disrespected Sammy. Who's this Jewish girl who's gonna disrespect me and not get out and kiss my hand?
I said, "You're being used and abused, and I am not going to tolerate this. Not when it comes to my children."
Lynda gives Louie an ultimatum.
I mean, I've had it with the whole lifestyle. I had it with this. Don't you understand?
It's to Louie's credit and to his downfall that he did. He loved his wife enough that he was able to say, "You know what, you're right." And he started to move away from Sammy Gravano.
Standing up to Sammy the Bull is not easy.
We gotta have a talk. We're partners. We were supposed to be
I hear him
partners.
talking.
But if we're not partners, then I'm gonna go my separate ways.
What are you doing?
I'm just rehearsing something.
When Louis chooses Lynda over his business with Sammy, the bull is out for blood.
When you take an oath to these people, you have your family and their family.
We're supposed to be partners. You know what partners means? 50-50, but that's not happening, obviously.
So I guess they had to choose.
I'm not gonna work with you anymore. I'm out.
I really think that was the day that Sammy said he's going to kill him.
But Sammy doesn't act right away, and their feud is tabled when Louis is arrested in June 1984.
Louis wasn't paying his taxes, so he went to jail ultimately for tax fraud and tax evasion.
With Louis behind bars, raising 2 kids alone is a struggle, and Lynda has her hands full with Louis Jr.
Come on, why can't I have the motorcycle? It's not even a motorcycle, it has 4 wheels.
No!
Come on, everyone has one.
I don't care if your friends have everything. I'm not getting you one of those.
I want to talk to Daddy. Okay, so now Louis got on the phone.
Just give him the damn bike.
Feeling guilty for missing his son's 13th birthday, Louis insists that Lynda agree.
He wants a bike, he can have a bike, all right?
He's your only son, Lou. They're dangerous.
Nope, can't wait. He wants it. Let him have it.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, you be good.
It's a fateful decision.
So my girlfriend took me to the hospital, and there I saw the guy that was in the motorcycle accident that was dead.
For more information on Lynda Milito, go to investigationdiscovery.com. While Lynda's husband Louis is in prison, he insists that she let the son get a motorbike.
5 miles on the motorcycle. Car hit him. So my girlfriend took me to the hospital, and there I saw 2 beds. One bed with the guy that was in the motorcycle accident that was dead, okay? And another bed that I didn't realize that was my son, with tubes in every part of his body.
His son's injuries are so severe that Louis gets a special release from prison. He heads straight to the hospital.
When Louis saw me,
What'd you do to my boy? I'm gonna put you in the trunk. You understand?
I didn't say nothing. What could you say? Here I am, a mother fighting for a son's life, and he's gonna put me in the trunk.
I'm serious.
After this threat, Louis Jr. recovers, but their marriage never does. His marriage isn't the only thing Louis can't fix. There have been big changes in the Gambino family since he went away. Godfather Paul Castellano is executed. Sammy's on a power kick, and he's still out for revenge. And Louis has no one watching his back.
Not only did Sammy elevate to the point where he was the underboss, but he took another guy and made him the captain instead of Louis. And Louis was really feeling left out at that point.
And Sammy wants Louis left out. Permanently.
Where's Louis? Louis not. We're not gonna wait around for Louis. Louis not in this.
Really? Oh, really?
Look, forget about Louis.
Louis would call like clockwork every single day. The minute that I heard Louis, Daddy didn't call.
Hey, listen, it's Lynda. Have you seen Louis today?
Whoa. I called my daughter. You hear from your father? No? So now I call Mario. I said, where's Louis? I don't know. Everybody was appeasing me. Everybody was saying, don't worry about it. Sit still, okay? I all of a sudden realized that he's gone. He is gone.
Now, kids, listen to me and listen to me good.
Your Uncle Sammy killed your father.
They killed him. And they will come after us next. If we don't stick together and do something about it. You understand me?
I said, now I'm gonna ask you to do something, and you better do it. And she looked at me. I said, you call your Uncle Sammy now, and you tell him that your mother wants to talk to him. She called him, and he was home. He says, okay, come over here.
Lynda is about to face the man who she believes killed her husband.
So what can I do for you?
I can't find Lou.
Oh, we'll find him. We'll tear down every building in the world and we'll find him. That's what he said to my daughter. Don't worry, princess.
So what do you want from me?
I need money.
Deborah, can you get a packet of 5, please?
I had to be humbled. If you think I wanted to be humble, you're crazy. Because that money was going to get me out of New York.
Let's go, Dee.
And I knew I had to go. Or he would have killed me.
As Lynda exits, she has one last thought for Sammy.
But you want to know something, Sam? You f***ing killed him. Didn't you? Didn't you?
You son of a bitch.
Then I walked out.
Louis Milito's body has never been found. John Gotti is later charged with Louis's murder. He denies the charges and testifies in court that it was Sammy's doing.
And nobody really knows whatever happened to Louis Milito.
I believe that what he went through in his life took his common sense. It took all their common sense because they didn't know how to direct the right and the wrong.
Lynda still hopes one day to discover the truth about that night, no matter what secrets she spills.
This is my nature. I can't hold things back. If it's how I feel and what I say and what I want to say, I say it. The truth will set me free.